So we've just had the New Zealand skipper Mitchell Santner do a press conference just before the game that is going to take place between India and New Zealand in Ahmedabad tomorrow. Now this was a very important press conference because when you look at India and New Zealand, both teams haven't had a perfect path to the final. For example, New Zealand, after their washout against Pakistan, they had to ensure that they won against Sri Lanka and hoped that Pakistan would not win by a big margin against Sri Lanka. Both happened. For India, they also, after the loss to South Africa, they got into a bit of trouble, but then they won against West Indies, they won against Zimbabwe, and they put on a great show against England while conceding 240 plus runs. Mitchell Santner has pointed to basically 3 or 4 major things in the press conference which India and New Zealand both be wary of. Firstly, on the pitch. New Zealand skipper Mitchell Santner has mentioned that he has not seen the pitch, but it will be a flat pitch. And this is the first major takeaway from this entire press conference. He mentioned that the pitch might be flat. We don't know. He's not seen the pitch. Now, the second major thing. Who is under more pressure, India or New Zealand? To that, Mitchell Santner has expertly mentioned that India are under even greater pressure. Why is that? Because the expectation that India will win all the games, the home advantage factor, that actually is a pressure quotient for India in this whole situation. 1,32,000 cheering on for India to do well, but that actually could be a boon for New Zealand. There is added pressure to win in this particular situation. So Mitchell Santner is like very confident that 2-3 questions were asked about silencing the crowd, and to that Mitchell Santner mentioned it would be cool to silence the crowd in Ahmedabad and ensure that we win the trophy. So yes, this is the current situation. When you look at Mitchell Santner, he wants to silence the crowd. That is one thing. The third thing, is India beatable? Because when you look at what happened in the series prior to that, 1-4 New Zealand had lost. What are the learnings that they have taken? What are the situations that will be encountered in the ICC T20 World Cup final? That is what Mitchell Santner spoke about. Santner mentioned that, see, in a bilateral series, it wasn't an ideal series for us, but we are taking the pros and the cons, the advantages, the learnings, the disadvantages from that series and trying to execute it in a way which will be great in the ICC World Cup final. So that is why, yes, it wasn't an ideal series, but in an ICC T20 World Cup, it is totally different. So yes, the learnings are there from that bilateral series hammering that New Zealand got. Now they will be hoping that they do it in a big way against India in the final here at the Narendra Modi Stadium. Now, what about the beatability factor? Mitchell Santner believes that yes, India can be beaten because of the added pressure quotient. What is that added pressure quotient? To win a home World Cup. That means that India are under more pressure than New Zealand. That is what Mitchell Santner has mentioned. But on the other hand, he pointed out the England game. He also pointed out the South Africa game. New Zealand skipper Mitchell Santner mentioned that, look, what happened in the South Africa game, it showed that India could be beaten. England also, although India won by 7 runs, but he highlights this particular point. The Indian bowlers also conceded 240 runs. Now in a flat wicket, he wants to ensure that India don't get to 250, you restrict them to 210 or 220. If this is the plan that New Zealand have kind of plotted, India are a team that bats from number 1 to number 8, 9, they just go gung-ho from ball 1. They just don't care at this point in time what is the pitch like, what is the score like. They're only playing in one way, that is aggression. So, Santner has revealed a plan B also. If you're not able to take wickets and you're, say, 80 for no loss after the 6-over power play thing, the next thing from 7 to 15 will be, how do you stop the boundaries? That is plan B for New Zealand at this stage. How do you stop the boundaries? And building up the pressure is going to be one of the key factors for New Zealand heading into this particular match. So he's highlighted that India under pressure, and Indian bowlers also conceded 240 against England. And this is where the situation arises as to Varun Chakravarti. Now, Varun Chakravarti has been under the pump in the last couple of games. And let us make one thing very clear here. Varun Chakravarti has to ensure that he gets back into form. But Mitchell Santner was very sympathetic to Varun Chakravarti. And he said, look, in a flat deck, bowlers on a wicket that doesn't spin and it doesn't seam, these kind of things will happen. Bowlers will concede 60 runs, 60 plus runs in 4 overs. Wankhede was incredibly flat, and that is why it is very important to note that this is the current situation involving Varun Chakravarti. He's still a very good bowler. New Zealand are not taking Varun Chakravarti lightly at all, and that is why they will head with their plans and they will ensure that Varun Chakravarti is tackled. And about Jasprit Bumrah, one sentence he just mentioned. Jasprit Bumrah is in everybody's, when you look at it, conversation. Jasprit Bumrah was the key factor. And he mentioned England were neck to neck, or they were ahead in the game against India in the semi-final. The only thing was Jasprit Bumrah really putting on a show for the ages. 1 for 33, 2 overs for 14 on that particular deck, and 2 overs prior to that for 19. This is the genius of Jasprit Bumrah. So, New Zealand believe that India are under bigger pressure because of the home World Cup expectation. Because 3 things have never happened in T20 World Cup. 1, defend a title. The other thing is not winning it at home. So that is why this is going to be a very interesting situation. Third, India are beatable. The bowlers conceded 240 runs against England. So that's why Santner is confident about that. And will he silence the crowd? Santner believes it will be cool. And I don't mind breaking lots of hearts to win a trophy. So New Zealand are a kind of a nice guy image, and in a very nice way they have mentioned, look, we don't mind breaking a billion hearts to win a trophy. But on the other hand, you have to also understand that you come here to win. We are not nice guys. It'll be cool if you win an ICC event at this point. So I'll take a couple of comments that are there. And Siddharth Physio, I don't know what you are talking about. Hiten Mumbai, can Arshdeep be replaced by Kuldeep? No way. No way. You can't replace Arshdeep with Kuldeep. You're only going to go in with 2 pacers, 3 pacers at max, 2 pacers. Are you serious? Coding Shiksha, Mitchell Santner needs to perform from the ball and take wickets. His form is really down. They surely can silence the Indian crowd. Maybe. So Coding Shiksha, what sort of pitch are you looking for? If it's 250 pitch in India, surely you'll win. It's a 180 pitch. Then New Zealand win toss. They can win by chasing because Dew can come. See, it is a mixed pitch. We got the confirmation now. It is a mixed pitch. I'll be doing the other bits about that. How do you ensure that this pitch is going to play the this? We'll have a look at it and then we'll do a detailed video on that a bit later. Kuldeep record is also not great versus New Zealand. Brian Lara saying, both Sundar and Siraj for Abhishek and Varun is too many changes. The combo will have 2 spinners with 4th pacer, and batting also not compromised. No, yaar. You're backed Abhishek so long. It's a question of one more game. Back him. I would say back him. He could do it. How will mixture of red and black soil wicket play? Ashish Dhar, I will do a detailed video after this. I'll just take a look at the wicket. I'll just see how the dynamics are, speak to a few people, and then I will do a detailed video on that. So wait for it. I still consider Sundar for Abhishek, Varun plays. Cool. Okay. Kudong Bamti Kino saying, Kiwis are in a juxtaposition. If India have to put a bat first, then 250 on cards. If they have to bat first, then 300 is to save target for them. Before India means batting first or second, batting all the same. I don't know about 300, but if you get to 200, it's game on. If Surya wins the toss, Coding Shiksha, what will India do? Will they score 200, 200 and bat out the Kiwis, or they'll chase and reduce the risk of Dew? See, India's 2 title wins have come while defending. 2007, they defended 157. In 2024, they defended 176. So that is where they defended close to 170. So it's not going to be easy. If you look at the trend of ICC finals, 9 chasing, 10 chasing, 12 defend, 14 chasing, 16 chasing, 21 chasing, 22 chasing, 23, 24 defend. India 7-24 defended and won the title. No one's chased. So there is a heavy favor towards chasing in an ICC event, but India has shown that it can defend and also win the title as well. So that is the way. As Sanders said, he will silence Indians. It doesn't suit his personality. Quoting Shiksha again, it was not meant in Malays. He said, there is added pressure. I don't mind breaking a few hearts to win the trophy. It would be cool. And yeah, there is no Malays when it comes to New Zealand. Yeah, come on. Mitchell Santner is a ice cool guy, ice calm guy. New Zealand, please. There is nothing that you have to hate about this particular team at this point in time. So pressure on New Zealand also not to lose in yet again ICC finals. Indeed, Neeraj, you're right. That won't happen. If New Zealand lose, then their jinx continues against India, man. Because look at it, 23, they lost 2 games in the World Cup. 25 Champions Trophy, they lost 2 games. So it's 4-0 at this point for New Zealand against India. And New Zealand have a record of 3-0 against India, but that necessarily need not be 4-0. It can make it 1-3 also in that sense. What type of pitch it will be? Is it a sticky wicket or a road where SA and New Zealand played earlier? I'll have a look at it. I'll see how the wicket, but the wicket is covered. At this point, we don't know, but it is a hybrid kind of a wicket, both red and black soil. So, Arnav saying India versus match ke baad, okay. Arnav, I know now that whatever you are saying at this point, you are a troll. I really thought you are a nice guy, but you are a troll. And that is why, sorry, I can't take your comments anymore. Hey said, what do you think? Can India replace Varun with Siraj considering it's a mixed soil pitch? No, I don't think so, Arya Vishu. It won't happen. So that is the way you're looking at it. And yes, this is the thing, that a straight boundary is way too short at this point. Well, I don't know about that. The square boundaries are longer. The square boundaries are longer in that sense. Sachin, at this point, nothing against any player. Aim is to win World Cup. You have to see form and balance. Better to a 6th bowler in Sundar versus lefties without compromising batting. I think that is a question Suryakumar Yadav will have to answer at this point. So the silencing crowd didn't age well. Vamsi Krishna, see, New Zealand may not do what Australia did, but still, it's an even contest heading into the final. Will dew be a factor? There was yesterday. So it could be a factor, and we have to see whether this is going to happen at this point in time. So yes, this is the situation we are looking at right now. So Varun form is a concern, but Santner believes he can come back because the crowd, when you look at how it is, the crowd at this point in time are going to go behind India only. But he knows that the flat wickets are such that any bowler can leak a lot of runs. So in that sense, why to change the team? What's your thoughts, Sir Gaurav Mahesh? I am also not a fan of changing the team, my friend. This is India's record, 13th ICC match surpassing Australia's 12. Hope India lift their 8th title. Sure. All that we will come to know tomorrow at this point. So that is going to be very, very good. And I know, yes, I am afraid of a lot of things, Arnav. I do acknowledge, at least I'm not like you, who will not acknowledge anything in life. So, yep. That is the current 7-run margin will spook India into going for black soil. No, Ashish Dar, it's not a black soil wicket. That much we can tell you. It won't be a black soil wicket. It's a hybrid, mix of red and black at this stage. So I don't trust spinners in Gujarat pitch. That is what AGM is saying. I don't know, my friend. I really, really don't know. Siddharth, is there another light show before the final? God's sake, let you a sporting event, not some concert. Can't help it, my friend. Can't help it, Siddharth. That's the way how particular pitches, how particular events are. That's how the events are. We can't take in that sense. It is important to stick with the basics in the final. Naval Singh is saying yes, yes, yes. Yes, it's very important to stick to the basics. By that, don't panic. Simple. Don't panic. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this update. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. Tap that bell icon so now when we go live. And don't forget, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Bye-bye.